There's something very disturbing going on in the United States, and it's starting to frighten pets. I have no doubt about that. What's going on? Well, uh, story in the Associated Press a couple weeks ago explains it. More and more pets are being given up to animal shelters or are simply abandoned because their owners are struggling to pay the bills due to inflation. People on fixed incomes are certainly being squeezed by the cost of living going up, the cost of food going up, the cost of gas going up, and for some of these and rent, and for some of these people just to survive, they're giving up, their loved animals. So according to this story, in Florida, at the Lori Wilson Dog Park at Cocoa Beach, two German shepherds were found abandoned. They're dehydrated, but other than that, they're fine. They're good natured. They weren't strays. They were abandoned. They were stressed because their owners had deserted them, and they had been discovered. And the person who found them, the police came. The officers were dispatched. They found no notes with the animals, no name tags of the animals, but they found a bag of toys, dry water bowls, and collars. And on the collars were written the words friendly and I have epi, which is a pancreatic disease. The police figured out that the owners must have loved these dogs because they abandoned them in a park in the hopes that someone would find them and take care of them. And you can't blame them for that, for hoping that that would happen, if that's what they had to do. And look, there can be situations where people have to give up their animals. They may get ill. They may have to move. All kinds of situations can happen. But this is happening now more than ever. And inflation is helping to drive this trend. And the reason what got my attention wasn't this story specifically, but a story that I read first here in my local newspaper with this headline, the worst I've ever seen. And that's a direct quote from the director of the Humane Society in the county I live in. And the reporter that did the article, they talked to people at the pound, they talked to people elsewhere, all involved in, running these sort of programs. And here's what they found locally, the director of the Humane Society. The society took in 876 dogs and 1,500 cats so far this year. And I'm speaking at the end of July. And some of these are even coming from other counties where the people are saying, our facilities are full, send them over there. And they send them over here. But the important statistic is that they're saying every single month so far this year, what they're seeing is a 20% increase over last year. And they called other shelters in other areas who talked to other people in other areas. All these people talk to each other across the country. They said the situation is not unique to here. It's happening all over the United States. So disturbing sign of what's really going on in the economy on the ground level. And that's what I like to do. I do like to read the big picture statistics. What's GDP growth doing? What's unemployment doing? And sometimes you see cross currents there, but it's always good to link what's happening in these stories on the micro level to what you see, on the numbers, somewhere, because there's a human dimension to this. Two dogs abandoned, and counting thousands of other animals across the country now every single month due to the cost of living going up. And this is unfortunately a systemic trend. It started in the first quarter of 2021. That's when inflation began, and it basically slowly crept up every single month until 2022 came, and it accelerated. The price of gas, oil, energy went up, not simply because of that Ukraine war, because it was starting a year ago. The CPI rate, according to the government, in June was annualized 9% growth, and that's a level not seen You got to go all the way back to 1980, really the 1970s, to see this sort of systemic type of inflation. It's impacting everyone's lives. It's impacting investors, what's going on in the financial markets. It's impacting interest rates, all sorts of things. And that stuff we'll talk about in other videos. But if you want to find out more news, more analysis, hit like so I know these are topics you like to hear about. If you want to get my next video, hit subscribe and then hit the bell next to subscribe, and YouTube will send you an alert when the next video is up and for you to watch. Talk to you later.